was supposed to click there, but I didn't do it, did I? Yes, now. Blessed now. Don't forget the rest now. Des, sweaty in the sun at KOTP signing in. Thought I'd do a little review for you. It's been a while since we listened to the Bends on this channel. So what I've done, such as Pablo Honey, is taking the time just for you people out there to re-listen to the record in my car as I'm driving from A to B today, okay? Come up with a few thoughts, revise a few initial thoughts, and come with a little review. It's going to be a brief one, and then we're going to have a look at the Wikipedia and the history that surrounded this record. So, the Bends is most definitely a step up from Pablo Honey in the realms of being a rock band, in the realms of being professional artists and crafting a pleasing sound. It really comes to fruition the little Radiohead touches that they apply to a standard chord progression, a traditional broken chord. Do 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 do. Each and everything they do, they add their own little twist onto it, whether it be ending on an abnormal chord. And when I say abnormal, not so out of the realms of it being uncomfortable, but just applying something a little different to what your traditional band will do, all right? Not taking it to perfection, but applying a alternate perspective onto that, you know, relatively traditional style of playing and writing songs. Tom York in this record, he sounds young, right? But you can hear the maturity of his vocal in this record. In clarity, you can hear the... I don't like to use the word talent because hard work is involved. But you can hear that he has a great voice and a great way of applying his voice into this music, onto this track, onto this record as a whole. Having listened to the Bends, arguably, before I go on to OK Computer, I may already cast judgment and say this might be my favourite Radiohead record. At least as of yet. I may mature into the later records, but this was the peak of the guitar rock Radiohead. And it's very pleasing to me. There's some great songs on this record, and I feel the first half is better than the second half. Sorry about my fingernails, people. I'm a grafter, what can I say? So I'm a little bit mucky today. I'm a little bit mucky, but I digress. The second half has its highlights, but overall, I think the first half is a great showcase as to what great songwriters Radiohead are. The drumming doesn't necessarily bring too much inspiration to mind, purely as I didn't really pick up on too much in regards to the drumming, but then again, I weren't listening through speakers that really supported the full spectrum of the kit's tone and timbre like you may have. To be honest with you, I was listening to this record through my mobile phone. Listen to this, right? I was listening to the record like this because my speakers in my car are broken, so I'm driving along like this. So if you want to know how I was listening to this record, it don't get more punk rock than that, people. I'm blasting it through. I don't even have a headphone, you know what I mean? It's just my means of listening to music at this time. If I'm not listening to these headphones linked to this computer, man, it's going to be tough for me for the most part. Everything's busted and I'm not paying for more gear. So that's a little overview as to where I was at. But in that limited sense, I was really able to pay attention to how the songs were structured, how it sounded as a whole, because if I can't differentiate the bits and bobs too much, I can hear it as a piece right there as a full, how it gets to me from A to B, just one bit, ding. And I can hear the songwriting. which is the most important part, right? The drums could be great, the guitars could be great, everything could be great, but if the songs aren't great, that's the most important part. Fake Plastic Trees, the introduction to that, the first couple of lines is absolutely bliss. It was a lot longer than what I remember it being. In all honesty, I think Fake Plastic Trees would be even better if it sort of finished at the 3:10 mark, like in proper pure standard, but that's a real brilliant song. We had, let's have a quick look, alright, I'm just going to have a dig at the listing. So, the BENDS is an incredible tune. Planet Telex has a fantastic tremolo guitar on it, which I think sounds incredible. High and Dry is a brilliant number. I don't like Black Star. I thought Black Star was the weakest track on the record. But yeah, I would say back in the day, Just was my favourite because it was. But considering it was, because I had heard this song before delving into the discography, I used to listen to Just like off my mate's iPod back in the day on his iPod Classic when he lent me it one time and he had his catalogue in and he had that, listening to that and Goldie Looking Chain, man. But Fake Plastic Trees now might be my favourite. And you listen to the instrumentation of Fake Plastic Trees, and overall on the record, it's relatively dry. There's no excessive overload of instrumentation and embellishment. It's quite organic, and the acoustic guitar plays a massive major role in this record, and I like that. I think Radiohead with an acoustic guitar is premium Radiohead. I think that is the best Radiohead get when they bring it back, kill off all of the electronic hippity-doo-dah and just get to it. Tom's voice atop of an acoustic guitar over a nice clean drum kit, nice clean bass guitar, pristine. Throw in a little bit of synth if you want, but don't go overboard. That's where this band excels, and in saying that, I think that's where this band and this album excels. And I'm going to listen once again to OK Computer next, but aside from some great soundscapes, I think as far as songwriting is concerned, it's going to be incredibly hard to beat this. And with that, I'm going to rate Radiohead The Bends. I'll very happily give this record an 8 out of 10. Quite possibly the highest I've given one as of so far. I mean, you know what I mean, as of recent at least. 8 out of 10, I think that's justified, right? So next, let's go on and have a look at the history regarding and surrounding this record.